show that gets you ready for the week of football that lies ahead is here after a week of absence due to unforeseen circumstances. This is All Things Football. Good afternoon, welcome to it. My name is Apiwe Roto. Please like and comment on the stories you see on the show. Remember to share the videos also on Facebook and like the page Amava Roto, All Things Football with Apiwe. I beg your pardon. The show is also available on YouTube on the Amava Roto network. That's AMAVOROTO, the Amava Roto network. That is. Thanking you in advance for tuning in. Let's tune into the stories that are making headlines in the world of football or have been making headlines in the world of football. Most recently, we start with Nigeria and Africa. Former Nigerian goalkeeper and Vincent Anyema, who expressed gratitude, and goalkeeper Stanley Nobali, who played a key role in the Super Eagles, who had making the finals despite falling short to the Ivory Coast, who were the hosts of this year's tournament. Now, the Nigerian international had 95 caps before hanging his gloves in 2015. That is stating that the 27-year-old shotstopper who plies his trade for Chippa United in the DSU Premiership supposedly broke a curse in quotes that was associated with with him, Vincent Enyema, that is, who played his best football with the Super Eagles and was the best goalkeeper in his time. After calling time in his international career, citing that they did not have the best shot stoppers in the national team, citing that shortstop with Maduka Okoye and Francis Uzoho, who was phenomenal, but was since dipped in form with the national team. I speak still in Africa. The Cameroonian Football Association has suspended 62 players for not for concealing their true age. One of those players, namely Wilfred Nathan Douala, who was at the AFCON, was part of the AFCON squad that crashed out of the tournament in the round of 16, which left fans in awe after report when he stated that he was 17 years old, despite reports which cited that he was in his 30s. On the other news, 32 players have also been banned from all footballing activities for failing age tests. I don't know what's going on. Not sure what's going on with Africa. It's mostly Africa age cheating. If you recall clearly, there was a player in Gabon, a Gabon international, who cited being born in 1990, whose mother had supposedly passed away in 1986. Back home at the DSTV Premiership side, the Kaiser Chiefs look set to let go of three players come end of the season. One such player, part of the trio, is injured midfielder George McClure, who has found the going tough at Nigeria since joining from neighbours Morocco Swallows in 2022. Another player looks likely to leave as defensive midfielder, the young player Happy Mashiana, due to a lack of game time, and will be looking to depart in search of more game time. However, Kaiser Chiefs do still have the same and could send him out on loan so that he can get all the game he needs before he comes back. Furthermore, Colombian forward Jason Gonzalez, who's still yet to break his goal scoring drought on the side, was currently on loan from Venezuelan side Real Santa Cruz, is expected to return at the end of the season, even though Kaiser Chiefs have been mum about his exit. Steadies have parted ways with player Daryl Macheke, which has left his agent in Gerard Baloyi, who is part of the Vodia Players Management, who has left Voda's Players Management agent in Daryl Macheke. Gerald Baloy, I beg your pardon, unimpressed. Now, the 25-year-old Kaiser Chiefs development product had his contract terminated after what was said to be a bust up with coach Stephen Barker in training, which was said to be a breach of the club's contract after falling out. However, according to his agent, his only crime was being linked to Orlando Pirates after his spectacular performances, which led to the Stellies winning their first trophy in top flight football. That was the Carling knockout last year, citing that the club also failed to take the right steps in terms of disciplinary hearing, citing they felt disrespected after hearing about the termination through the media. In our other news, South Africa will be traveling next week for the international break to take on in Algeria, Andorra, and Bolivia in a four-nation series, which is set to take place in Algeria. Now, Bafana Bafana are no strangers to a four nations tournament. If you remember clearly, we had the most common Simba Four Nations tournament in the 90s, which would also have the likes of Egypt, Ghana, the Ivory Coast, and of course Australia. And the Four Nations Remuneration Cup, Reunification Cup rather, in 2002 before the World Cup then in Korea, Japan, which took place in Hong Kong, including Hong Kong, Turkey, and Scotland and South Africa, which they would eventually win. Looking at the squad, your goalkeepers selection was made out of the 50 man, 23 made it through. Sundowns goalkeeper Ronwan Williams, who was exceptional goalkeeper of the winning goalkeeper of the tournament at the last AFCON. Kaiser Chiefs goalkeeper Bruce Fuma, despite losing to Orlando Pirates, makes the squad. Ricardo Ghost is also part of the squad after his exploits with SuperSport United. Sydney Mob defenders include Sydney Mobi, Grant Gekana, Terence Masheho, Nkosinathi Sibisi, Aubrey Mudiba, Tapelo Morena, Tapelo Kogi, and Siabonga Ngezana, who's been exceptional with his Romanian club, Stuart Bucharest. Midfielders, Tebogo Mugwenas, Pepelos Tole, Goodman Musele, and Grant Markman, who've all been doing exceptionally well for their clubs, have been rewarded. And forwards include Sundowns playmaker in Temba Zwane, Patrick Masongani, also in Apollos, Mihlali Mayambela, Londi Mbanjwa, who applies this trade for Amazulu, Elias Mugwana of Sekukuna United, Akron Rainers, and Cape Town City forward in Kanyisamayo. On to our other news, SAFA have confirmed the suspension of former Vice President and Mamariele Dwaba. If I can just get to the story in a second, banning her from all footballing activities. And after the story is as goes. Just a second. We seem to be having a struggle with getting that story. We'll get that story as soon as we can. With regards to the former SAFA vice president who's been banned from let's see. We seem to have lost their story. Working on it. My sincerest apologies for no, oh, there it is. They've banned after she had applied to both Gauteng and Western Cape High Courts to stop presidential elections in June 2022. Now, the former Reyes Stars boss took the mother body to court after pointing out irregularities. Now, if you remember clearly, last week we had news about SAFA being raided by the Hawks during the SAFA Congress. The former Reyes Stars boss took the mother body to court after pointing out irregularities and the amendment of the constitution during the SAFA Congress in 2022, which she believed was aimed at favoring Danny Udon in his bid to win presidential elections. Now, Dr. Udon would go on to win the election by 186 votes to retain his term for the third time in succession. SAFA has now confirmed the banning of Ria Ledwaba and the suspension of Soli Mohlabeng from all footballing activities after the duo took the association to court before the presidential elections with the situation dating back to June 2022. According to a memo released by SAFA senior CEO Lydia Monyepao, Mhlabeng remains suspended pending a disciplinary hearing at the SAFA offices. A statement read by from SAFA CEO with reference to the High Court matter between the South African Football Association and Ms. Riele Dwaba and Mr. Soli N. Mhlabeng. We wish to inform you that the judge ruled in favor of SAFA. The ruling also awarded costs to the association court the association. The court held Mr. Daba and Mr. Mhlabeng had held Mr. Ludwaba and Mr. Mhlabeng had no grounds to review the SAFA elections or any right to seek arbitration of issues determined at the election process, as we read the memo that was sent. And going further, in alignment with a prior resolution by the National Executive Committee, which mandated the suspension of the members resorting to legal action against SAFA, the NEC has also since reached the following decision, which includes suspension of Mr. Soli Mhlabeng with immediate effect, pending a disciplinary hearing, the declaration of Ms. Riele Dwaba as a persona non grata within our organization, thus disqualifying her from all and every footballing activity under the jurisdiction of SAFA. Here's what happened last week. Onto your results. Those are all your news. We do apologize for the technical difficulties with regards to the story. Onto your news now. We date back to your results from last week. Soweto Derby, very entertaining. Orlando Pirates coming back twice with Thabiso Libitso and a brace by Monapole Saleng, overturning Ashley Dupree's brace to win by 3-2. Stellies and Cape Town Spurs could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw. Swallows falling short at the Dobsonville Stadium by 4-1. So Sport United and Amazulu also couldn't be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw. Goalless stalemate between Richards Bay and TS Galaxy, while Sundowns proved too strong for Chippa United, where we saw Peter Shalulile and new signing Tarek Matthews getting on the score sheet. Golden Arrows proved too strong for Polokwane City through Vosmos Spear. With that odd goal in the 87th minute, Royal AM proving too strong for Cape Town City, who suffered their 5th defeat in a row by 2-0. Sundowns and Supersport United played to an entertaining 1-0 draw in a game that left many displeased with the refereeing decisions. On to your Saturday, Manchester United. On to your Premier League results. Two penalty spot kicks from Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford were enough to see United through over Everton, get a win over Everton by 2-0. Luton and Palace could not be separated, playing to the 1-1 draw. Another 2-0 draw at with between Bournemouth and Sheffield. Kai Havertz netted a late goal to give get a win over Brentford. Aston Villa falling short by 4-0 in the second half to Tottenham. West Ham and Burnley played to a 2-2 draw. Brighton and Nottingham. Brighton falling short, proving too strong for Nottingham Forest, winning by 1-0. Liverpool and Man City played to that 1-0 draw with Alexis McAllister cancelling John Stones' goal for opener from the penalty spot. Chelsea winning by 3-2 in an entertaining encounter at the Bridge on Monday. Wednesday we saw Luton Bournemouth come back from 3 goals down to win by 4-3. Your Nedbank Cup results from Wednesday, we had University of Pretoria beating Swallows by 2-1. Amazulu winning by 2-0 against Sekhukhune United, while last night we saw a 7-goal thriller between Milford and Stellenbosch, with 2 braces from both Asset Ora and of course Andre de Jong. Another one getting on the score sheet was Boji, just to mention a few, with the consolation goal scored by Chile for Melford, which saw them crash out of the tournament. Arsenal won by a goal to nil thanks to a goal by Lissandro by Les, uh, won by a goal to nil to force a 1-1 aggregate score, which took the game to penalties, and I saw Arsenal win by 4 goals to 2. Barcelona winning by 3 goals to 1 and 4-2 on aggregate. Atletico Madrid 2-2 draw on 2-2 on aggregate, winning by 3-2 on penalties. Borussia Dortmund winning by 2 goals to 0 over PSV Eindhoven. Nedbank Cup fixtures, round of 16. Here's what you can expect. The league takes a break for the week. The PSL takes a break for the week before we head into the international break. We have Richards Bay taking on SuperSport United, first game of the day. Chipa United take on Ravens FC in an Eastern Cape derby, something we are yet to have in the PSL. First of its kind. Orlando Pirates welcome Hungry Lions at the Orlando Stadium. D General take on TS Galaxy tomorrow, and Mamelodi Sundowns welcome Maritzburg United. In the Premier League, not many fixtures either in the Premier League, with the FA Cup taking over. Saturday, we have Burnley welcome Brentford, Luton Town welcome Nottingham Forest, and Fulham were taking on Tottenham Hotspur. FA Cup quarterfinals tonight. Today we have Wolves taking on Coventry City and Man City taking on Newcastle. Tomorrow we have another double header. Chelsea welcome Leicester City, and Man United taking on Liverpool. We had the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals draw taking place last night at the UEFA headquarters in Nyon, Switzerland. This is the last Champions League of its format, of this different format. Next season we're gonna have a different format, which I will just dissect to you here on All Things Football. We see Arsenal welcoming FC Bayern Munich in the first game. Atletico Madrid will play at home to Borussia Dortmund in the first leg. Real Madrid will welcome Manchester City in a repeat of last season's semi-final. Paris Saint-Germain will welcome FC Barcelona. That's where we end today's episode. Time flies when you're having fun. We're yet to determine the Nedbank Cup quarterfinal fixtures, which we will give to you after the draw has been made at the Net Multi-Choice Studios on Monday evening at 6 p.m. All Things Football will give you the draw in full. 3 teams have confirmed their spots. 5 teams. We're looking for 5 teams to confirm their spots. That's all we have time for. Thank you, and I thank you in advance for tuning in. Remember to like the page, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, the Apiwe Roto Network. If you like it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications in the event of a new episode coming every Saturday. The show takes an international break next week to make way for the international break. Wishing Bafana well going into the Four Nations tournament, which takes place in Nigeria, which will include host Nigeria, Andorra, and of course South American giants in Bolivia. Until then, we give it a name and call it a day. My name is Apiwe Roto. This has been All Things Football. Take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.